Well, hello and welcome back to another video from the Veg Grower Podcast. This has been a video of my last week, so without much ado, let's run the credits. My name's Richard and I am on a mission to grow as much food as I possibly can. On my allotment and modern victory garden, we have plenty of land in which to achieve this. And this is my video diary. Well, this evening after I finished work, I realised it's starting to get dark, so I came outside just to get a few parsnips and carrots, which have gone down well. But I've noticed we've got a bit of space, and I want to sow some Swiss chard. Now, Swiss chard I absolutely love. I think they're delicious, but also you get these beautiful red and yellow looking plants, which I think look great on a plot, especially as they grow over winter. So I just made a little drill in the ground here, into which I'm just sprinkling in some of this seed, which should hopefully germinate quite nicely and grow on really well. Now, while I'm here at home, I should mention last week we tried out the easy mulch, which I got from Gardener's World. Pleased to say that's actually looking pretty damn good now. Seems to be creating really nice mulch layer, so something I'm definitely going to be experimenting a lot with and trying out. Right, well, that's got the mulch done. No, not the mulch even. That's got those seeds sown for today, so hopefully they're going to grow and produce us some nice plants. Well, as you can tell, I'm down on the allotment today. First job, something I try and do all the time now, is just to mow the grass. And then I'll end up using all these grass clippings as the mulch. Something I'm in the big habit of doing a lot of at the moment. Well, there we go. That's this bed. Well, the grass clippings that I've cut today, used as a mulch. Do that every time I cut the lawn. You're down here and just keep using it is all I'm trying to do. And hopefully then we'll end up with less weeds. Well, let's got this job out of the way and done. Let's move on to the next one. So up here on these beds, what I'm doing is I'm laying some cardboard down in order to prepare these for onions and garlic. Now I've been hoarding onto as much cardboard as I can find lately, so I can try and get at least 3 thick layers of cardboard on each bed. And it seems to work. It does help at suppressing the weeds quite nicely, but of course what we've got to then do, if we come over to my wheelbarrow just over here, I have loaded this up with compost, which I'm just going to pour all over the place and see how it gets on. Now I've got to admit, this compost is not up to my usual standard. I'm used to seeing some much more blacker stuff, more well-rotted stuff. I think what's happened is the compost hasn't got wet enough in its time when it was rotting down. It'll be okay. It will do the job that I want it to do. It will act as a mulch, and it will help suppress the weeds, and garlic and onions will continue to grow in this. Just means I might have to add a bit more, buy in some compost to add to it. Right, let's get this bed filled up. Well, I'm definitely going to have to buy in some compost just to fill up these beds. Not a huge problem, compost is relatively cheap. I prefer my own homemade stuff, but sometimes you just don't have enough. That's right, that gives me something to do next weekend, but that's it for today down on the allotment. I think tomorrow I'm going to be doing some bits at home. Well, I decided not to film what I've been doing today because I figured actually getting the camera going at the same time as using the chainsaw is probably going to be a bit dangerous. But what I've done today, we had a willow tree growing just there, and we quite liked the tree in all honesty, but it was causing too much shade and it just wasn't going in our garden really. We inherited it when we moved into this garden. And a few weeks ago I cut all the smaller branches off, just leaving me with the thicker logs, if you like. And today I've cut those down now, which I'll cut into smaller pieces and leave to season for a year before we burn them on our fireplaces. But that's now got that tree almost removed. I've left the bottom of the trunk in place. And what I do is probably in the next couple of weeks, little trick that I've learned for removing trunks is just to place a compost bin, a direct compost bin, over the trunk and fill it up with compost. In a year or two, or compost material I should say, in a year or two we will find that that tree root has rotted away. No need for a I can't remember what I call it, machine to come in and dig out the root. No digging involved, it just rots away, nice and simple. It does take a year or two though. Anyway, so that's what I've been up to today. Well, that's what I've been up to, growing my own food here at Veg Grower Podcast HQ. Quite a bit has been done, quite a bit achieved, but let me know what you've been up to down below in the comments. Now on the podcast this week, it's already out, please do go and listen. I've had a few questions from listeners about why are the chilies not hot enough, what can I use as a mulch, and how do I go about making a clamp. That's all available on the podcast. I've also got a bit of analysis about an experiment I've been doing with soil amendments or compost amendments this year. That's all live on the podcast. You can find that on Apple Music, Spotify, Amazon Music, pretty much every podcast app out there. Now then, on Sunday, this coming Sunday, we do our live show every Sunday, 6 p.m. on the Veg Grower Podcast Facebook page, YouTube channel, Facebook group. And this week's subject is about gardening and health. How has your health improved through gardening? How does gardening help with your mental health or your physical health? There's all questions that I want to know from listeners and viewers out there this Sunday at 6 p.m. It'd be great to see you, so please do come along. Well, until next time, please take care.